Virginia Jean Rittenhouse was born in Lacombe, Alberta, Canada, on October 15, 1922, the only child of George and Wynne Shankle. Her father taught history and her mother taught music in Canadian Union College. When Virginia was 3 years old, her parents accepted a call to serve as missionaries to Helderberg College, a Seventh-day Adventist college in South Africa, where she spent the remainder of her childhood. It was soon evident that she was a musical child prodigy, making her piano soloist debut at the age of 14 with the Cape Town Symphony Orchestra and a performance of the Beethoven C minor piano concerto. That was followed a year later with her debut as a violinist, playing the violin concerto in A minor by Johann Sebastian Bach. When her family returned to America, she graduated summa cum laude from the University of Washington with a degree of Bachelor in Music. She then moved to New York, studying at the Juilliard School of Music with such noted artist teachers as Louis Persinger in violin and Dr. Harold Bauer in piano. Moving to Massachusetts, she obtained her degree of Master of Music from Boston University. She followed this by studying with Leon Fleischer in piano and Robert Garley in violin at the Peabody Conservatory in Baltimore, and was awarded the first Doctor of Music degree ever given by that conservatory, a doctorate in both piano and violin performance. Later, she studied composition for several summers with the renowned pedagogue Nadia Boulanger at Fontainebleau, France. In 1950, she married a young surgeon, Dr. Harvey Rittenhouse, in the village church, South Lancaster, Massachusetts, and they served short-term mission appointments to Jamaica and Africa. She had moved to South Lancaster to be with her parents, as her father was academic dean of Atlantic Union College. In 1968, she began having 5 of her young string students practice together in her living room, hoping that this would stimulate their interest and thinking they might do well enough to play in some neighboring churches. Little did she realize that this would develop into the New England Youth Ensemble, which would perform before dignitaries worldwide, including Dr. Harold Kissinger and President Ford, at a state dinner in Warsaw, Poland. The ensemble has performed in numerous cathedrals and concert halls across Europe, Russia, Africa, South America, New Zealand, Australia, and China, and throughout the United States of America and West Indies and Canada. In 1977, while traveling on a motorhome on a concert tour, they were involved in a tragic motor accident in which Harvey suffered extensive burns, broken bones, and spinal cord injuries with partial paralysis. This made it impossible for him to continue his medical career, but after an extensive period of rehabilitation, he was again able to travel with Virginia in the ensemble concert tours that covered 45 countries. Harvey and Virginia were inseparable during their 61 years of marriage. In 1988, Virginia made her conducting debut with the ensemble and the Atlantic Union Collegiate Choir at Carnegie Hall, New York, under the auspices of Mid-America Productions. This started a long-term relationship with that organization, leading to the establishment of the New England Symphonic Ensemble. This group consisted of her students and a supplement of local musicians that was designed to accompany various choral groups as well as to play as an orchestra for performances at Carnegie Hall and Lincoln Center. They appear on stage over a dozen times a year, and often working closely with the renowned composer and conductor John Rutter, who formed a special bond with Virginia and the ensemble over the years since 1988. In 1994, Virginia, with her colleague James Bingham, moved to Columbia Union College, Tacoma Park, Maryland, now known as Washington Adventist University, where she continued her work with the New England Youth Ensemble and was awarded the distinction of Professor and finally Professor Emeritus for brilliant work on campus. The choral orchestral relationship with James Bingham began in 1974 and continued to the present, and it is in this capacity that the choir and ensemble performed this evening in honored memory of the founder of this union. Virginia loved to compose, and she has to her credit a number of original compositions, including the Jamaican Suite for violin and piano, an oratorio, The Song of the Redeemed, and her most recent work, The Vision of the Apocalypse, which had its Carnegie Hall premiere in 2004. In her 89th year, she was still practicing piano 1.5 hours daily and violin 1.5 hours daily. She was optimistically looking forward to writing her third book, recording some of her compositions, and taking another concert tour to South Africa, even though her health and mobility were gradually declining. She was finally injured in the fall, which resulted in multiple broken ribs. She gradually became weaker and passed away at the University Hospital in Worcester, Massachusetts on August 30, 2011. She is survived by her husband, Dr. Harvey Rittenhouse of Sterling, Massachusetts, a brother-in-law, Robert Rittenhouse, and sister-in-law, Peggy Rittenhouse of Hudson, Massachusetts, multiple nieces, nephews, and cousins, and a host of former students, colleagues, and friends.